The old mansion had been abandoned for decades, its grandeur and beauty slowly being consumed by the passing of time. Despite its history and intrigue, the house was a place to be avoided, a place where people whispered of ghostly apparitions and unexplained occurrences. But I was not one to believe in such superstitions. I was a skeptic, a seeker of truth and reason. So when I inherited the mansion from a distant relative, I saw it as an opportunity to explore the unknown and uncover the secrets within its walls. As I entered the house, a chill ran down my spine. The air inside was thick and heavy, and the shadows seemed to move of their own accord. I shrugged it off as mere imagination and began to explore. But soon, strange things began to happen. Doors creaked open and shut on their own, and I heard whispers in the night. At first, I thought it was just the wind or my imagination, but then I saw her. She was a woman in a long, flowing gown, her face pale and sorrowful. She glided across the room, her eyes fixed on me, and I felt a chill run down my spine. I tried to speak to her, but she vanished into thin air. I searched the house, but she was nowhere to be found, and yet, I knew she was still there, watching me, waiting for something. As the days passed, the occurrences grew more frequent and more intense. I began to feel like I was being haunted, and I knew I had to uncover the truth behind the ghostly apparition. I discovered that the woman's name was Emily, and she had lived in the house with her husband and children many years ago. Tragedy had struck when her family was taken from her, and she was left alone, her grief and sorrow consuming her. And now, she was stuck between worlds, unable to move on, seeking justice and closure. I knew I had to help her, and so I began to investigate the circumstances of her family's death. And what I found was shocking. Emily's husband had been murdered, and her children had been taken by a rival family. The tragedy had been covered up, and Emily's spirit had been trapped in the house, seeking justice. I knew I had to make things right, and so I worked to uncover the truth and bring the perpetrators to justice. And as I did, Emily's apparition began to fade, her presence becoming less and less frequent. Finally, the day came when she was gone, and I knew she had found peace. The house was no longer haunted, and I was left with a sense of closure and a newfound appreciation for the unknown. From that day on, I knew that there was more to life than what we can see and touch, and I was grateful for the experience. The old mansion was no longer a place of fear, but a place of hope and redemption.